Tonight, JSO is looking for clues and a gunman after a shooting downtown just steps away from John Ford Elementary.
First Coast News' Alana Harris has been at the scene since we learned about it this evening. She joins us now with more. Lana?
Yeah, this shooting, of course, did not have anything to do with the John E. Ford Elementary School, but it was very close. In fact, a gun magazine was found on the sidewalk just across the street. JSO did not give us a lot of information, but we know that a person was shot, was taken to the hospital, and did not have life-threatening injuries, and we'll update you as soon as we get more information. In Jacksonville, Lana Harris, First Coast News, on your side.